World Cup today.
They absolutely will.
So you guys are lucky I'm doing this for you, because I wouldn't have if I didn't see. So I saw this little thing on the corner of Fortnite and said something like press L2, and I pressed L2 and this showed up, and I was like, oh, it's the World Cup. So I had an idea, and I was wondering if you guys want to watch it too. So I made a podcast, and I'm watching this for you guys. And by the way, this is live right now. This is happening right now. It's live. It's legit live. So this is going to be who is going to be fun.
But he is just trying to fire shots, methodically go through and see if he can actually get any kind of knockdown eliminations here to get that stipend. Any kind of team does take out his
Yeah, and it got him into the top 5, and Kubas actually ended up going down as well. So just getting the tags on the end of the storm as rotation does go up the mountain. You know, the verticality being the difference that elimination does go over. That was the knock we had just talked about. While Replace goes through, he edits down, has nothing to catch himself, but luckily was on the edge of it. But Hype is relentless on the high ground, and now they're going to start working the top down. When we started on board with them, they had 4 elims, now working all the way up to 8. There is 9 and 10.
I'm watching something right now, but I can come.
And this is where every point matters, getting the wall replaced. And
alright guys, I'll be right back. You guys can stay here watching this.
11 elims in the victory royale.
Well done from them indeed. Now, unfortunate to see Slayo go down. I know that he is a favorite from a lot of people, but you know what? Second place, not too bad, Sundown.
No, it was a good effort, but like you said, once kind of those two get rolling, when they have the momentum, they are able to just run with it. We've seen it before in the semifinals, and when they finally converted it over, sometimes that's all it takes. If you're able to put the pieces together on the right day in the finals, that's what ends up mattering. Now we're on board here with Surf Junkie and Evanix.
And take a look at their loadout they have right now. 2 Rift to Goes, 2 Shadow Bombs. I'd be interested to see if they've split the Shadow Bombs. Duos will typically do that. You know, give 2 and 2 so each partner has some kind of mobility in their inventory. They do only take up 1 slot, and you can carry a whole bunch of them. So we've seen time and time again players utilizing those to make rotations, make sure they're safe heading into the next zone, and they are going to actually opt to Rift out there so that they can make that early rotation. They did have quite a long way to go, but they are going to look to see if they can possibly sneak on some high ground.
Yeah, the thing is there, well, it seems like it is a little bit of an early rift. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, majority of the players were in their path in order to get to the rotation. So when you have 2 rifts and 2 extra Shadow Bombs as well as a ton of the shields, you can afford to be a little more aggro there, and they're actually able to now get priority on the zone and pick up an elim as well. But can they get the mats and then disengage out with whatever upgrades they so desire?
Again, Surf Junkie taking a lot of damage there, so he is going to have to really focus on getting healed up before they, you know, make the next rotation or before they take another engagement, because you certainly do not want your duo's partner going down or falling to anyone at this stage of the game. That certainly can spell disaster. But we are going to take a look here at Serpent and Hype. We saw a little bit of their gameplay in the last game. They look as though they're playing very, very well together today, and you know, let's just see what they can pull out right now.
Yeah, so these were actually, so the last game we watched was their second to last game, and this was their final game of the evening. So that's kind of why it ended up being such a thinner lobby. It was a lot of the players trying to get through and use the last of the games, but Serpent and Hype saying, that's fine, we'll play it for a victory royale. And right now, inside the first placement threshold, already on 7 elims for this match. So that's 10 points so far coming out from this game. That's what we talk about when we say maximizing efficiency in every single one of your lobbies. If you're making it into the final placement threshold, getting a couple of those victory royales and getting elims as well, it makes it very difficult for everyone else in the lobby to even keep pace with it.
Yeah, and you know, that we've seen time and time again has worked out for so many players, you know, really just being very aggressive, just going full send. It doesn't matter what game you're in, that can always bode well. He does get the knockdown on oh my gosh, Surf Junkie and Evanix just fall to him completely, no chance. And we've seen them play very strong in the past, so that is very surprising. But Serpent does pick up the Rift to go and 2 extra Shadow Bombs. So now the tables have turned, Sundown. He has got all of the mobility he needs.
They just have so much control over this lobby now with the high ground. They can see nobody else is even remotely close to it. There's the far side of the lobby. You will see Lunar and Alpha trying to put some shots on it. Prince Charming comes sailing in, but there was a Shadow Bomb directly in the box behind it. I don't know if Alpha realized that. Gets high ground taken away from him second. Boxed in, no traps coming out, does finally put one down, and Kaiser can't avoid the damage there. 15 health on it. Needs to throw the Chug Splash at his feet or get the edit out. One of the two has to happen very shortly. 15 HP, was able to get back up to the high ground. Is going to opt to just pop the minis and then go for the Chug Splashes.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it wouldn't have really mattered too much what he chose to do, because you are only getting 20 HP effectively from those Chug Splashes for each one that you throw down. He did wait for his partner to join him, though, because there is that area of effect with the Chug Splashes. You get 20 health, your teammate gets 20 health, sometimes everybody gets 20 health.
Well, that's tend to be why you see it more run in duos, but also just love having shields all over the place. But now Serpent Hype going aggro, and we've seen it putting the dual combat shotguns to work, focusing on that with the loadout and making sure they're shooting together. But right now, Serpent has been chipped out a little bit. However, they're into the top 10 in terms of the team. So 5 placement points been picked up so far, and look at that. Prince Charming gets taken down. No fairy tale ending for you there. It's just back to the lobby, and considering this is the last match, that's the end of your World Cup run, as Serpent and Hype able to clean that up. There's another one going over, up to 12 in all the resources from it, and they saw that Shadow Form player. Look at him just running.
What is happening? Sundown. He was just, you know what, I think at that point he was just trying to do whatever he could to stay alive. Unfortunately, Hype and Serpent met him there, but Serpent does actually go down, and he is going to fall to the storm. It is going to be completely up to Hype now to carry the rest of this game. Each of them having 7 eliminations, sitting at 125 points. Do you think he's going to be able to pull out the victory royale? We're going to have to find out.
Now, they are on the 14. Elam's has the proximity launcher. That's 70 on both of them right there. Will get the AoE, gets the 70 again, so he knows that player is on 40. Drops down to Ices, catches himself with the waterfall as he drops. Will pick that up. Siphon comes over too. Will he be able to get enough mats? He's sitting on 3-2, now out of materials. It's a 2v2, v1, v1. Edit comes out, needs to pick up this Elam. Storm isn't his favorite player. Edit goes forward. Uncle Andy, say good night. Nothing left for you there. Hype finds the shot right there, gets a good 80+ tick. Can he find another one as he's trying to do all of the work by himself right now? Serpent's been taken down. He's sitting on 90. Elam's getting some help from the high ground. 73 with the first shot, getting walled out. Needs to find a way back in the zone, and he does. Lupius goes down 1, 2. Can he find the third? Needs to get the conversion over, and he does. Lupius goes down. It's a 2v1. Can he find it?
No.
Barbucks cleans it up, but second place.
Well, listen.
Plus Elam's coming
when
out
I press
with
it,
good effort from Lunar and Barbucks, but Hype and
oh, video stream. Oh, what is this? I'm just gonna stay in this one. But what the? But what is this?
And catch yourself so quick. Cat-like reflexes. Too bad Kitty Plays isn't here to comment on those.
And making sure that it was the player who hit twice with that proximity grenade, while it only being 70 damage, is basically guaranteed. If the player isn't boxed themselves up, and now we're gonna hop on over to the Asia region while we see what was up with the trigger key people of the Vietnamese region, or the Vietnam country, playing on the Asia region. Apologies there, that's my report here.
actually really easy. Ooh.
Yeah, especially having no reason to do that. And you also notice that Joyce threw this thing directly on top of Ricky Wallace pressure. No friendly fire going on there.
This is just like really easy. Gotta stop talking, bro. Oh, just missing on all that. Come on. Alright, I think this is my last life or something. Let's see if this is my last life. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, it's not.
And I feel like Dusty Divot is actually one of those points of interest where you can drop and get a ton of resources, all the trees being there. You know, some would argue that, you know, you're at a bit of a disadvantage because you are essentially, you know, not to pun, but you are in a divot. But you know what? If you can use those trees for cover, that whole area completely uncontested and for yourselves, you are going to come out of there sitting pretty. So we are taking a look here. They are rotating over. We'll see how he builds up here. If he tries to take high ground, or it looks like he might actually be making a play for that.
Yeah, he was looking to find it over on the side, but instead just opted to box himself up, realizes he has the RPG and wants to start sending everyone cascading down, but opts not to fire it. So interesting decision there. I actually thought he would have sent it down. Instead turns towards the player underneath him, and him and Ricky are going to try and isolate that player in order to convert it into an elim. Now he's going to look skyward. I figure he would want to reset that before they got too established. Nope. Instead, he's going to say, my high ground now, perfectly timed launch pad to get it right at that maximum deploy height. And now, all of a sudden, Joyza and Ricky on the high ground with a whole bunch of resources.
And 12 rockets in their RPG. We've seen this time and time again. Explosives are extremely strong, but they are even stronger when they are raining down on players from ultimate high ground. These players do not have to worry at all about anything that is happening above or below them. They need to be
I'll see you guys later. I have to go. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe you guys can maybe watch this on YouTube or Twitch or something. I don't think it's on Twitch. I don't think it's on YouTube. Guys, go on Fortnite right now, and in your lobby, on the screen, on the right, you will see something that says press Alt2, and just press Alt2. That's when you get in the lobby. All you gotta do is press Alt2. That's all you have to do. So, I'm sorry, guys. Bye. Oh my God.